also, you don't want to pour so much into one thing when you don't even know if that is the thing. And 9 times out of 10, he's definitely seeing other people. So you need to keep your options open as well. This is a major component in emotionally detaching, because there is no way that you are, out of the 3 people that you're dating or 5 people that you're dating, that you are emotionally attached to all of them. It's just not possible. And so if you guys can see from the title, this is how to emotionally detach. This is a very highly requested video. This is a question that I get so many times. These are things that I had to learn based off my own experience, based off of things I've seen, things I've heard, yada, yada, yada. So we're gonna jump right into tip number 1, and that is think with your head, not with your heart. This is so important because we have to understand the fact that despite what we're looking for, we can't jump into this thinking, oh my God, this guy's the one. Even if we may suspect that that may be the case, you can't act on it, because that's when you start leading with emotion. And as you guys know, we don't do that until it's earned. And then you're already starting to go backwards, because in your head, you start conditioning yourself naturally as a woman to accept certain things or overlook certain signs, because you're just thinking, oh my gosh, this guy is the one for me. So if I have to deal with X, X, and X, it's really not that bad because at least I get him. No. Lead with your head, not your heart. And if you think about it, guys do that naturally all the time. They're very logical when it comes to dating. Let's do the same. Tip number 2, as I've mentioned before.
Baby, that's easier said than done. I hear what you're getting. It seems like you got some guy talking points as far as this, which could work for the ladies, but ladies, you are the emotional species. There's too many women now trying to be like men. And what you're getting at is that this guy may be in disguise. He may have ulterior motives, things like that. Don't get too emotionally involved. Don't show too much emotion. Just be, more stoic and things like that. But that could potentially be a turnoff also. But I get where you're coming from by saying that and telling women to be that way. But I'm not so sure that's gonna really work out in the favor. You have to be vulnerable to a certain extent, especially if you're looking for something serious. Now, if you're just dating, yo, it is what it is. You can be for the streets and everything. Have your rotation going. Hey, go ahead and do that.
Do not ever date just one person at a time. This is coming from someone like myself who always used to just date one person at a time. And based upon that experience, I've quickly learned that why would I do something like that? All it did was make me focus on that one person, and that one person was not only focused on me, so it made them naturally, of course, way less detached. They had more options, all of these things, and all it did was make me sad. If I felt like they pulled away, I would draw closer. We all do this. Come on, ladies, let's not act like we don't. And it's just a recipe for disaster. And also, you don't want to pour so much into one thing when you don't even know if that is the thing. And 9 times out of 10, he's definitely seeing other people. So you need to keep your options open as well. This is a major component in emotionally detaching, because there is no way that you are, out of the 3 people that you're dating or 5 people that you're dating, that you are emotionally attached to all of them. It's just not possible. And if you are someone that is smart and you are playing the game, which you should be, you're not going to allow yourself to have emotion for people that have not proven anything to you yet. Why am I having emotion with you? You don't have any emotion with me. You don't have any emotion with me. So why am I giving you that? It's so easy for us as women to get emotionally detached. So wait till he gets there. Don't get there before he gets there. When he gets there, we just synchronize. That's usually how it goes. It takes...
Baby, that's not how it goes. When he gets there, then your ass does this. Pew! He's doing too much at this point. He's too clingy. He's telling me he wants me to be his girl, so on and so forth. It's no secret. And fellas, if you think women aren't dating multiple guys anyway, it's very rare a woman just sticks to one guy. Very rare. So it's leaving women like her, similar to her, they're jaded when it comes to dating. They already have a certain outlook on men. I got played in the past, so I'm not. You have all these energies, so it's kind of like you really, how can you ever truly bond with somebody? And I'm like I said, I'm not against women dating, you know what I'm saying? But when you're entertaining multiple men and you're trying to choose at one point for who's right for you, it's going to be more difficult, especially when you got countless of them, and one of them is probably still in the background anyway, or orbiting. So the whole thing, keep you a roster. The psyche of a woman when she gets to that point where she's just not dealing with one guy, keep a roster. That's going to be her default setting. That's going to be her go-to in terms of that. And it's probably a lot of times it's the point of no return. That's what she wants to keep up. Women love attention. And the way it is now, it's very rare that she's going to get all that attention from one guy. So by all means, do you? And if you're waiting for a guy to emotionally fall for you first, you're not going to want that. You're going to have that emotional attachment first. I.e., you bring up the idea of you want things to go further, or the relationship to go further instead of him. Because if he brings it up, you can be like, oh, whoa, whoa. As much as women like to argue, but that's neither here nor there.
Nothing for us to do that. So don't just offer that up. Because that's when they pounce on that vulnerability and they do whatever they want to do because they know that they have you. Do not date just one person. Or as I've said in my other videos, have a roster. Tip number 3 is keep yourself busy. And I mean legitimately busy. Okay? You have to have a life. And the more confident you are in having a life and actually having a life, whether that's, hang out with your girlfriend, taking some sort of fitness class, kickboxing, whatever it is, actually having hobbies and things to do, this will make you less available at all times. And one thing I've also learned is never cancel your plans for a guy. Continue on about your day. If you have something legitimate to do, do not cancel and make way for him. I don't think so. He can see you another time. Continue on with your day. This also will make him want to see you again because it's like, oh, dang, I really wanted to see this girl today, but she had something to do. I'll see what she's doing later on this week. Don't be upset thinking, oh my gosh, the fact that I just, that I told him I had something to do, now he's not going to want to see me anymore. No, that's not how it works. You understand what I'm saying?
That is how it works. Because fellas, you shouldn't be asking a woman out more than twice. And her telling you that she doesn't have time, She tells you that, then basically she's not for you, or she can't set a date or a time to see you. There's no need for you to keep going. And a woman should have things to do. Don't get me wrong, I agree with her. Women, you should have things to do. You should be active. I like a woman that's focused on she's doing her own thing, but I like a woman that has time for me also. You don't want a woman blowing your phone up all the time, so on and so forth. But I would like a woman to make time for me. And if you're not making time for me, then I have to go dip in the roster. And the lady, if you're not making time, that doesn't make you more valuable. If you're not making time, that's a turnoff for guys. If I can't get a hold of you, I'm trying to see you. I'm not trying to say I'm trying to see you every day, but if I bring up a date and you're interested in me, you're acting like you're the prize. You don't have to be, at least have a counter offer. Like, I can't see, but I would like to do this. Forget all that. All this is games. This is what women do. Women play games. And as much as they say men play games, we have to play games because you play games. And it's all stupid at the end of the day. It's just dumb.
Guilty of this too, where I used to just make myself available all the time. And I feel like guys can easily sense that. And they're just like, every single time that I ask this person out, they are always available for me. It's not always translating to them as, wow, she really likes me, she's always available. It seems to translate to them as, she must not have that much to do. And then all of a sudden you take a back seat.
That's not true. That's how women look at it with men. And that's why you keep changing plans, or you'll flake and all that stuff. Oh, whatever. But the guy that you really want to be with, or Tyrone, basically, just he can call you up anytime he wants and smash and dash, and that be that. You know what I'm saying? But the guy who's really trying to see you, really trying to court you, is really serious about you and things like that, you just look at it as, once again, jaded. If you really like somebody, and from the conversations you have had, if you really like somebody, why play the games? And I'm not saying cancel an important doctor's appointment or this, that, and a third. But if you have something that you could do later, and this is the time that maybe you guys both may be able to share, and you're both available. When I say available, that means this is something that could be done later. Hey, why not? Instead of playing the games
In their roster, because they know, okay, option A is always available. So let me bring in option B, because I know that at the end of the day, more than likely, option A is always available. So then they start rotating.
Option A may be who I really want. Option A may be the top prospect because it's option A. That may be who I'm really feeling. But if option A is just like, then yeah, I'm going to have to do that.
Other people have had ahead of you, because they know that you're always, no matter what, pretty much going to say yes and be there. No, I don't think so. Have your own life. Have your own activities to do. And also, even if you are someone that's in a relationship, men don't always want you up under them. So have your own things to do. Have your own life. This also makes you more attractive, because it's
Definitely agree with that. I gotta have a woman that has her own thing. She's got her own job. She's got her own business going on, or she's got business that she's taking care of, and she's staying constructive with her time instead of just always wondering what the hell I'm doing and trying to see what I'm doing. And it all up under me, like she said. So I agree with you on that.
like, wow, she has her own thing going on. She takes this yoga class or Pilates class and whatever she does, like with her girlfriends. I'm talking about legitimate things. I'm not talking about only going out and partying all day. And this adds value to you, and it shows, wow, like, that's very attractive to know that you're not just waiting on me to just come home, or you're not waiting on me to call you and ask you out on a date. You understand what I'm saying? Which, either way, you shouldn't be waiting on him to ask you out on a date anyway, because you have a roster. Remember? Okay. Tip number 4 to help you get emotionally detached is to literally remember all the times that you made the mistake of becoming emotionally attached too soon, and how that ended up. How'd that end up for you, babe? It didn't end well, right? Start reflecting on how it felt to be taken advantage of, to have that feeling of giving more than you actually got. There was no reciprocity. It's important to remember that feeling. That enough should be motivation to not allow something like that to happen again. Do not surrender your control to somebody like that again, especially so soon. And this is why all of these tips are very important, because they all synchronize with one another. So far, we've gone through 1 through 4. If you don't think...
So that's that same bull that y'all be preaching about, don't get like this, don't get like this. It's cool to have your antennas up, but when we deal with individuals a lot of times, because whether it's a month, 2 months, 6 months, anything could happen, but we still, regardless of having our antennas up, we still have to have the individualistic approach instead of just being jaded about a situation, because you could be missing out on a great experience and end up pushing the person away or altogether because of ego And because this is how I'm going to be, this is how I'm going to be, and I'm going to do this and do that. Who really, I don't want to play games, but who really wants to play games? But I guess that's why they call it the game. Once again. Sheesh.
With your head, you're more than likely not going to have a roster because you're attaching yourself to one person who isn't even giving you that commitment. At least not yet. If you date just one person, well, then you're emotionally attaching yourself, setting yourself up for heartbreak and oversharing and spilling your feelings, getting emotionally attached to someone for no reason. And if you date just one person, then you're not following step one, which was to think with your head and not with your heart. You're just ruining things for yourself, babe. You're working backwards. If you're not doing tip number 3, keeping yourself busy, then you're always going to be available, which how is that even possible? That would insinuate that you weren't following the previous tips. You shouldn't be making yourself available for just one person only. You have to follow all of these. See how they all just go together? If you reflect on how you were treated when you didn't follow these rules, it would make it a lot easier to get attached to someone that isn't giving you the same thing. Don't do it. And lastly, tip number 5.
So just reflect on the negative experiences. Just keep that in mind. Reflect on those negative experiences. It's the same thing I'd be trying to tell about the He-Man woman haters and the MGTs and all that. You guys just stay in that mindset, and it's not productive at all. It can actually be counterproductive, and you'll miss out on a good thing.
Take home. Until you get a commitment, associate emotions with surrendering your control. And that is what you don't want to do. So if you associate emotions with surrendering your control, you're less prone to do it. Because think about it. Let's say you went on a date with a guy, right? This is an extreme example. And he said to you, how about you drive my car? And when you were driving his car, he goes, okay, now let me just steer the wheel. You just sit there. You'd have to, of course, surrender your control of the wheel and trust the fact that he's not going to crash the car while you are in the driver's seat. How does that work? I don't think you'd really do that, especially with someone, of course, that you don't even know that well. You wouldn't even put yourself in that position. So same goes for dating. You do not surrender your control when you don't know this person. You don't have trust in this person. Vice versa. You don't do it. You don't have a commitment to this person. You have no reason to actually just take every single thing that they're saying, at face value. You don't have a reason to. Does that make sense? That was a really good example, by the way. So, guys.
And I hear you say, because you don't really know each other. At the same time, do you want to lead? Are you spearheading the trajectory of the relationship? Or do you want him to lead eventually, or only when he gets emotionally attached that he's able to lead? Once again, it's your idea for the relationship. So you're in control at that point. But it's for the man to basically, yeah, we're in a relationship now, but you can still lead. But does that mean basically you're both emotionally attached at this point? So let's finish though. Go ahead.
Those are just 5 quick tips on how to emotionally detach. I really hope that you guys actually implement these things, and let me know how it goes when you do, because these are legitimate rules that I personally follow myself. By now at this point, to me, it's second nature. So it's a lot easier for me given the fact that I have been implementing these for a while now. With that being said, guys, if you have any suggestions of any other videos that you would like me to do, any other topics that you would like
These women nowadays, man, a lot of them are cold-blooded. A lot of them are emotionally detached. A lot of them, like I said, they have countless, quarters to put in the machine. They have no shortage of men, so they can entertain whatever options. So, I mean, by all means, ladies, follow it. It's more like you're trying to be like a man at this point, because fundamentally dating between men and women, there's a yin and a yang, right? It's normally the man pursuing the woman in the beginning. Women, you have access to tons of men, right? You're not always available. Whether that be you're doing something, you're dealing with other guys, you're in a relationship. So just as you're doing that, you have so many options. Men don't have as many options, and for him to get flaked on, so on and so forth, he's got to have a rotation off top. You talking about men do it. That's the reason why men do it a lot of times, because women be playing games, man. But that's neither here nor there. Yo, let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on the Calendly and Linktree to book a one-on-one with yours truly. Of course, make sure you guys subscribe to my backup channel. Purchase all my books and merch and everything off of Linktree. And with that being said, this is wisdom. Peace be upon you all, the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.
It's God's beat maker.
And I don't know. I will put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth.